My teacher walked in 15 minutes late, locked the classroom door behind her, and said, "I need every phone face down before I tell you what just happened in the hallway." Every phone hit the desk at once. Even Marcus, who never put his phone down for anything, flipped it over without a word. Miss Previtt stood at the front of the room and didn't say anything for a few seconds. She looked like she'd been running. Her lanyard was twisted, her blazer was half off one shoulder, and she kept glancing at the small window in the door behind her. "Okay," she said. "I need you all to stay calm, and I need you to stay seated." The girl next to me, Danny, grabbed my arm under the desk. Miss Previtt said there was a man in the building, not a student, not a sub, not a parent who'd signed in at the front office, a man no one recognized, who'd walked in through the side entrance near the gym, the one that's supposed to be locked after 7:45 a.m., but everyone knows doesn't latch right. She'd seen him in the B hall corridor when she was coming from the copier room, and she'd made eye contact with him and she said, "Something was wrong. I can't explain it better than that. Something was wrong." She ducked into the supply closet and called the front office from her cell. The front office told her they hadn't buzzed anyone in. She said she waited in the closet until she heard his footsteps pass, then went the long way around to get to our classroom, which is why she was late. Someone in the back said, "Did you call 911? She said the office was handling it, and yes, and we needed to stay quiet and away from the door. I looked at the window in the classroom door, the little rectangular pane, maybe 6 inches wide. The hallway on the other side was empty. We sat there. Miss Previtt kept teaching or trying to. She put a passage up on the board and told us to annotate it, and she stood at the front of the room facing us, but she wasn't looking at the passage. She was looking at the door. About 10 minutes in, I raised my hand and said I needed to use the restroom. She said, "Not right now." I said I really needed to go. She looked at me for a second and said, "You can wait." I sat back down. Then the intercom crackled and the front office said there was no cause for concern. The situation had been handled. Teachers could resume normal activity. Miss Previtt visibly exhaled. Some kids laughed, the nervous kind. Danny let go of my arm. Miss Previtt said she was sorry for scaring us and that she'd made the right call and she'd do it again. She said sometimes your gut tells you something and you listen to it. End of story. She actually taught. I tried to pay attention. When the bell rang, I was one of the last ones out because I dropped my highlighter under the desk and had to dig for it. By the time I got into the hallway, most of the class had already scattered. I turned toward the main stairwell and almost walked straight into a man standing just outside the classroom door. He was older, maybe 50, in a gray jacket, holding a visitor's badge and a folded piece of paper. He looked down at me and said, "Sorry, excuse me," and stepped aside. A woman from the front office was with him, walking him toward the exit. I went down the stairs and into second period and didn't think about it again until lunch, when Danny sat down across from me and said she'd asked one of the office aides what actually happened. The man had come in through the gym entrance because the parking lot entrance was backed up and he'd seen another parent prop it open. He had a visitor's badge. He'd signed in. I said, "So he was fine? He was just a parent?" Danny said, "No, that's the thing." She kept her voice low. "He signed in as a parent to pick up a kid. But when they checked, the kid he named, no one at this school has parents. She's been in foster care since she was 4. She paused. The office aide said they have no idea how he knew her name.